The TaylorMade TP5 is the ball that Rory McIlroy used to win the Masters in 2025 and complete the career Grand Slam. Now in 2026, TaylorMade have updated the TP5. So is this now a better version of this historic ball? Or is this ball purely played contractually? In this video, I'll be doing my standard ball test on the new TaylorMade TP5. Now that's 50-yard pitch shots, and I'm looking for the spin numbers and the launch angle. Will this ball perform in and around the greens? I'll also then hit 8-iron, and I'll do that at average golfer speed and also at my playing speed. And again, we're looking for spin and distance. Will this ball react nicely as it comes into the greens with a mid-iron? And I'll also then be getting the big stick out, and we'll be hitting driver at average golfer speed and also at my speed. And we'll be looking at the transfer of club head into ball speed, what the spin numbers are, and ultimately, is this ball providing enough carry against its competitors? We'll then have a look at the data, and then we'll cut this complicatedly constructed golf ball open. We'll then have a look at some of my thoughts around this golf ball, and I've also taken it out on the golf course for a few holes to see how it fares in the real world. I'll then create a Graham's scorecard for the TP5, and I'll score it points across various parameters of how it performs. And as we've now done a couple of premium golf balls, we'll start a premium golf ball ranking, and that will be at the end of the video, so make sure to stay tuned. I'm doing golf ball testing across 3 different price points, so if you want to check out some mid price point golf ball testing or some budget golf ball testing, then make sure to head over to the channel after you watch this video. And if you want to see my Callaway Chrome Tour X test, I'll pop a link up here for you. So I'm classing a premium golf ball as a golf ball that costs over £40 in the UK, and that's over $53 a dozen in the US. Right, so let's get Mr. McIlroy's TP5 ball out on the launch monitor. Let's hit some shots, see how it stacks up, and we'll start with 50-yard pitch shots. Okay, so let's now hit some 8-irons, and I'm going to hit some at average golfer speed, that's around 75 miles an hour club head speed, and also at my normal playing speed. And finally, let's get Rory's favourite club, the driver, out, and I'm going to hit some shots at average golfer speed, that's around 90 to 95 miles an hour club head speed, and also at my normal playing speed. Right, so just before we head to the data, there's a golf ball that you would like me to test. Make sure to pop it down in the comments. Right, so the first interesting thing about TaylorMade and their TP5 range is that although a lot of other manufacturers have moved their X version of the ball to be their most spinny model, TaylorMade have kept the TP5 as their spinny model. Now this is really interesting and good for golfers, because if you want a high spinning golf ball but you don't really like the firmness of the compression of the X models, which tend to be closer to 100 compression, the TP5 has a compression of 85. Right, so let's now head straight into the data, and let's start off with those 50-yard pitch shots. Right, so if I pop that data up there, the first thing you can see is that this ball has a spin rate of just under 6,200 RPMs. Now for me with this sort of shot, that's exactly in the sort of range that I would want to see from a 50-yard pitch shot with a premium urethane golf ball. With a launch of 27.5 degrees, this ball is launching in what I would consider to be a really nice window. It's not just popping up too high, it's going forward, and that means that as the ball comes in with that spin, we're actually going to see it grab and grip into the green. Fundamentally, there's nothing absolutely amazing about these shots, but this ball is just performing very, very solidly with this type of shot. So we'll head to 8 iron next. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that as a rule, we tend to find that most golf balls with a mid-iron, a 7 or an 8 iron, tend to carry approximately the same distance. Right, so let's now pop 8 iron data at average golfer speed up on the screen. And reminder, average golfer speed is around about 75 miles an hour of club head speed with an 8 iron. With a spin number of 5,419 RPM, I would actually have liked to have seen a little bit more spin from this golf ball for an average golfer with an 8 iron. It's a little bit less than I've expected and seen with some other urethane golf balls. With a vertical launch number of 20.3 degrees, this ball is certainly getting up in the air. So combined with that spin number, you will get stopping power on the green. With a carry distance of 127 yards, this ball is doing exactly what we expect and sits firmly in this window that we see from most golf balls that we've tested. Right, so let's get rid of that data and let's now pop 8 iron up at my speed, and you'll see my club head speed and ball numbers were pretty solid for this test. With a spin rate of 5,860 RPM, this ball is producing around the spin I would expect to see for a urethane golf ball for me as a player. Now, I tend to be quite a low spin iron player, and hitting off a mat also does drop that spin, but this ball seems to be spinning a little bit more like I would expect to see at the faster speed that I have. Launch was up at just over 20 degrees, and at my speed that's a little bit higher than I would like to see, but it's certainly within a window that is playable and acceptable. With a carry distance of 163.4 yards, this ball again is just reaching that window that I'm expecting mid-iron, 8 iron shots to go, and I've seen it across many golf balls. This ball is very, very solid in its performance. I've just yet to see anything that makes me go wow. Right, so let's now pop driver up on the screen, and we'll do that for average golfer. And just a reminder, that's a club head speed of approximately 90 to 95 miles an hour. With a club head speed of 93.4 miles an hour and a ball speed of 138.9 miles an hour, this ball is performing very, very solidly at converting club head speed into ball speed. Spin was up there at 2,527. But this is quite nice for me at this sort of club head speed. With all those numbers combining, my carry distance was 215.1 yards, which again is a very, very solid number for an average golfer with driver. Right, so finally let's now pop driver at my speed up on the screen for you. With a club head speed of 107.5 miles an hour, that was creating a ball speed of 160.5 miles an hour, which again is a really decent solid conversion of club head speed into ball speed. Spin was up at just over 2,600, which is a little bit higher than I would like to see, but it is sitting firmly within the range that I am getting at the moment. With those data points, my carry number was 262.6 yards, which again is very solid, nothing unusual, and pretty much in line with the Callaway Chrome Tour X golf ball that I've tested previously. Right, so the data's telling us that this is just a very, very solid performing golf ball. But let's now cut it open and see if there's any surprises on the inside. So as I cut this ball open and then reveal the inside, what you'll see is it's just a beautifully constructed golf ball. Now, most manufacturers are still keeping their premium golf balls at 3 or 4 piece construction. However, TaylorMade has been making the TP5 and TP5X 5 piece construction for a good long while now, and remains doing so with this 2026 version of the TP5. So you can see this ball has a dark blue core. It then appears to have 3 mantles, that's a black, a green and a blue, and a lovely thin urethane cover just to complete the ball. So TaylorMade obviously still believes that there's a benefit in having a 5-piece construction. I'm just not quite sure in testing that I've done whether I'm seeing that over other companies that are only using 3 or 4-piece constructions. Right, so we've looked at the data and we've now cut this ball open. And before we put a Grahame scorecard together, let's just cover off a few of my thoughts about this golf ball. So first off, TaylorMade's advertising campaigns this year are talking about how they're concentrating on making the paint covering of this golf ball really even. Now I think that's quite interesting, but what I think it does is it really shows that they're looking at every minute detail of a golf ball to try and find as much performance as possible, and I think that can only be beneficial for the golfer. I would say though that as far as it goes in this testing, I would say this ball is just a really solid premium tour golf ball. But what I wasn't getting was I wasn't getting any wow feeling of hitting this golf ball or anything that would make me convert from playing another premium golf ball into the TaylorMade TP5. So in the shop I just picked up the standard TP5, but I believe they are still making the model with the full wraparound stripe on it, and I actually think this is a really good design for this golf ball if you're a person that likes to line up for putting. So could I play this golf ball? Well, quite simply the answer is absolutely yes, I could play this golf ball. It has all the characteristics of a golf ball that I would want, and the performance just appears to be really good. Again, the only thing I will say is there was nothing massively stand out that would actually make me swap out my current gamer, the Callaway Chrome Tour X, for the 2026 TP5. Out on the course, this golf ball performed reasonably well. It was decent off the tee. My iron shots felt solid. It was good for chipping, and it came off the putter really nicely. So again, I don't have any complaints about it from that perspective. Just don't think it's a ball that I would then jump to change to. Right, so let's now put this golf ball into Grahame's scorecard. So for driver distance, I'm giving this ball 9 out of 10. It's performing as well as any other golf ball that I've seen generally for driver distance, and therefore I can't mark it down. For iron spin, I'm going to give this ball an 8 out of 10. Now the reason that I'm doing that is I thought the spin was pretty decent at my speed, but I did feel it was slightly low at average golfer speed, and that's why I can't give it a 9. For short game control, again I'm giving this ball an 8 out of 10. It performed admirably, but I really would have liked to have seen just a little bit more spin on this ball on those shorter shots. For feel, I'm giving this ball 8 out of 10. At 85 compression, it sits in that really nice window where it's not too hard, but not too soft. And for value for money, I'm giving this ball a 7 out of 10. Now it's retailing in the UK at the moment at £48 a dozen, which means it is right at the top of the premium bracket. However, with its construction, you're actually getting an awful lot of golf ball for your money. Okay, so to finish off with, let's now head over to our first ever premium golf ball ranking. With 2 premium golf balls now tested, I'm putting in first place my current gamer ball, the Callaway Chrome Tour X. Now you can feel free to pop biased down in the comments if you think that's the case, but what I can tell you is from my perspective, it's one of the, if not the best performing high spin golf balls on the market today. So behind that, let's now pop the TaylorMade TP5, and both of these balls have set a really high bar for every other company that I'm going to put through my premium ranking system. So it's a great job from both manufacturers. There are plenty more premium golf balls for me to test, and if you've got a specific one that you would like to see, then again, make sure to head down in the comments and leave that down there. If I can get hold of it, I'll happily test that and bring you my opinion. Well, that's another golf ball test in the bag, and if you found value in the content that I provided here, please don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any data-driven content that I'm providing. And make sure to check out the Callaway Chrome Tour X test that I did that might help you to choose your next premium golf ball. I'm Grahame, and I'll catch you on the course soon.